Now I'm
Me
happy
happy
boy.
boy.
What are you afraid of? If you don't
Me
have the
Chinese.
courage to get rich,
Make a lot
you
of money.
deserve to be poor. Join.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touched down, just like you in a game.
German sips with a grin so wide. Pogs on the table can't hide his pride. Creator in the corner starts to glare. Madness sparks and hate fills the air. Stack 'em high, a tower of luck. Germans winning, it feels like pluck. Alice Matt's fury, a brewing storm. Visions of pogs in every form. Pogs are spinning, tables turning. Alice Matt's eyes with fierce fire burning. Germans' laughter echoes loud in a world that's pog-bound proud. Matt sees and he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. And he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Alas, my fumes can't take no more. Pogs and slammers hit the floor. It's not about the game you see. It's about what fun could be. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann.
For context, you're looking at the absolute Lex Luthor. Yeah, that is Lex Luthor in the absolute Batman series. So next time any of you people call me a jerk like this guy right here, come on, I didn't draw Lex Luthor like this, like a soy. I didn't draw this. This is DC's official current Lex Luthor. Luthor. They drew this. I didn't do this. I did nothing. I did nothing. You're welcome. Henry Bemis says Clowes is a good choice. Yes, he is. Yeah, his name is pronounced Clowes. I fact checked it. It's not Clowes. It's Clowes. Clowes. Or Clowes, whatever. I don't care anyway. I took his sneaker. I don't want to. They say that's disgusting. I just typed that in the chat. In my chat too, he typed it. Not necessary. Everybody's in here. Okay, we got JV Styler. How you doing, JV? Benzinga's here. Hello, Benzinga. It's good seeing you here. Great Sage with the racist emojis and whatever he's typing in the chat. Of course, I never forget to say hi to my top guy, my VIP, Massive Panda, in the house. What's going on, Massive? Hopefully you're enjoying your night tonight. And hopefully my camera cooperates because I want to keep my camera on for the stream. It's better that way. That way I don't look like I'm no frills. So I don't look like a junior for going bowl. You're missing the point, Oz Great Sage. This ain't Luthor. This is like Twitless. Actually, this doesn't look funny because I have Twitless sent me a book last week. I didn't open it because I wanted to do the unboxing live on stream. So we're gonna unbox issue number 5 of Omega Girl today, which means no review because I didn't read it yet because it's in a box. I wanted to do the unboxing live on stream, and I'm gonna do it tonight. So someone tell Twitless I'm unboxing issue number 5 of this book, Omega Girl. Abian Kuber says, hi, El Patois. I see you're doing the super emo fashion fit again. No, I didn't draw this. This is DC Comics' current absolute Lex Luthor. Here is Kizavets here. He says, well, hey, birthday, my good friend. Happy birthday to you, my good friend Kizavets. Welcome here. Glad you're being on my good side today. I love it. And of course, the Danzo with the violence as usual. As usual with the violence. Hey, I didn't draw this. This is official. Oh shit, my thing went. That's supposed to happen. Well, enjoy the theme song.
Deep in the inky graveyard, dark as the night, there among forgotten pencils, a duck takes flight. Alice not the history duck tells us forgotten tales about creators long lost in a cabinet frail. He's been putting in a mile of research. He quacked up every flock perch. This Irishman aggressively knows his stuff. He's here to share the truth without a bluff. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Ben Gay. Alice Mack, duck of the Indies, Malin's favorite EFAP. He knowledge of comics far off the old rap. He swims out of the lanes to find hidden bayous of strange creators and obscure dull new. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Ben Gay. So hang with the quackers deep in the comic graves. See Alice Matt's treasures, the sort that he craves. Do you know about these guys and do you care? A Duck Lord is willing and he's got plenty to share. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Ben Gay. Alice Matt should be quack-gratulated. Do not mallard shun. He's busy peeking into the facts. Don't wig in him while he's hunting for snacks. For snacks. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Ben Gay. Alice Mack should be quack-gratulated. Do not mallard shun. He's busy peeking into the facts. Don't wig in him while he's hunting for snacks. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient
Well, hello, Mr. Bancroft. Who is their Duce? I know I pronounced it wrong, but see, here's the thing. I'm ethnic, so I can do that. And if you correct me, that's racist. So you can't correct me in the chat. So there you go. I am a civil rights activist. I activate for the civil rights. I do those things every day of my life, of my existence. The camera looks good, by the way, so it's awesome. It's awesome. Tim O says, I thought this was the Tim. I don't want to activate the ban zone, Tim. The ban zone is currently closed for new submissions. I don't want to activate it, but I'm about to send you there for this comment. Timmy, don't make me do this to you, Tim. Don't make me do this. I need Timothy. I need legit comic creators in my chat. Timothy, don't let me down. Don't let me down. For once, put that spear away. Don't chuck that spear. Pick up your pen and join me as we recreate the greatness of what was once an independent comic scene. No, not CG. I'm talking about the underground comics movement and the alternative comics movement, because those are legit. CG's first, but no, please, Tim, don't do this. Don't do this, Timothy. Please, Timothy. Don't do it. Just please be nice. Michael Diache says, alas, man, is the voice of the people. I just can't figure out which people. Well, we're discovering together. So this is discovery. This is the beautiful thing about discovery, Michael, is that we can do it together. We walk the path of the unknown and we find out together. And that's how we grow as a family. We are a family here. And you are a member of my family, Michael. If you put it on ancestry.com, you might find out we might be related. Who knows? But still, we are discovering together. And that's the beauty of this community that I am fostering. Mike, excuse me.
Is your list getting in the way?
It is. It absolutely is. Anyway, so I disavow. But anyway, so we're discovering together, Michael. So that's great. I'm so glad we're holding hands together. I'm gonna skip a few.
Back that lispy Puerto Rican side of your hair.
I'm not Puerto Rican. We had this conversation.
Did you say you're
We
Puerto Rican?
we had this conversation.
I haven't seen a birth certificate.
I want. She said that out loud too. I can't believe it. Okay, yes. People are saying hi in the chat. Yes, we have family. We say hi to each other in the chat. So I'm glad.
Is that how lispy Puerto Ricans say it?
Not Puerto Rican. So that I'm glad that my people in the chat are shaking hands, giving each other beer, fist bumping.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, Lady Shadow Band says hi to everybody. We are here happily enjoying this family. Yes, I said family. I'm a writer. La familia. Yes, exactly.
With the list.
My intro, Tyranny Must. You like my intro, Henry? My intros are the best. My outros are the greatest. I have perfected intro outroism. Okay. When it comes to the intros outros, I am the best introist in the market. I'm the very best, and you know it. Whoa, not who says. Oh, did I mispronounce the German? I'm sorry. I did not mean to mispronounce. I'm an ethnic culturalist. I did not mean to mispronounce the German. Okay, please don't send me to the gulag. I will pronounce it better next time. I promise. I absolutely promise. That is my word to whomever. Linkovich says, should I try to sit through this to hear last one talk about Dan Clowes for 10 minutes? I'm smart. God. Like me, Todd McFarlane, Frank Miller, like Mark Millar, we're all gonna make this thing work. All of us, my peers, we're gonna make this thing happen. Don't sleep on me. I'm legit. Okay, so last minute is the Duce? No, Duce passed away a couple years ago from the jab. That was he after he called his fans motherfuckers, he passed away. So that's why I don't say cheers for Duce. So funny, it autocorrected is but not whoa. It autocorrected is but not whoa. That made no sense. I mean, it makes sense to somebody, not me. So maybe it's my special mind. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? I don't care anyway. Oh, Colors. So Colors says, I made a book. I threw at you. I'm a creator. You didn't do nothing, Colors. Except chuck your spears and throw tables. You legit threw a table at me at a con. Don't think I forgot that. You legit threw a table at me at a con in Pennsylvania. And yet, rubber duckies, that's a clear sign of someone with mental illness. You had rubber duckies, a comic book, no, a manifesto you passed off as a comic, and a table that you threw at me. My life was in danger that day. I didn't forget, Colors. I didn't forget. I'll never forget.
You leave Colors alone.
Anyway, Richie Dip says, hello. Hello, Richie Dip. I'm glad to see you here. One of the few that respects me and my clout. The rest of you can learn. The rest you have to learn. Like, totally got to learn. just need to get with the program, pick up the book, and know where we're at in this community. I am influential. I was talking to Tom Farn the other day. We just had a conversation about how to make these chats more enlightened and engaging. And I won't tell my Farn said, but the point is we spoke. So there you go. Yeah, we did. We did. I don't care what anybody says. We did. He's my peer. I really am. Now, Guy in the band zone thinks he has any kind of clout for whatever, and thinks you can offer any kind of opinion. Yeah, I'm saying opinion. I can do that because I'm a linguist. Opinion. But it falls on deaf ears, Guy, because you're in the band zone. Okay, you almost had a new member today with Tim Olson, almost, but I forgive Tim. He knows not what he does. But the band zone remains closed, and you can continue with this. We have Zeitgeist. His hit and run comment. He says, "What the hell am I being told about now identifying as super emo?" I don't know what that. I listen. The chat is a chat. They're gonna say they throw spears at me every day, all the time. I don't know what to say. I get the scars. I get the blood. It just happens. It always happens. What can I say? It's okay. I see I'm behind the chat. I'm gonna scroll down, skip a few, so I can catch up. I'm really behind the chat. Holy crap! You guys Let's see. See a lot of hate towards me. A lot of hate towards me. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna have to skip a few of these. Some of these are really hateful. Really hateful comments. Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's a lot of hate. Lots and lots of hate. Okay. Well, Tim is crying out for. He says all of these gens are influencing my brain. Don't let them. Listen to me. Don't let them, because it's not good for your brain. But you know who should, or who in the chat has a kind of positive influence. I said it wrong. Positive influence that you should follow and emulate. My good girl, Georgina Floyd. Thanks for remembering.
Excuse me.
Georgina
Who's
Floyd.
your good girl?
Georgina
Excuse
Floyd.
me?
Georgina
No,
Floyd.
no,
Georgina.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll remember
Georgina
that.
Floyd was a big fan of mine, and she's like the hottest chick in the world ever, like the hottest ever. Like I would totally leave. I totally leave it for her. I totally leave it for her. Absolutely. She says, "Shake mama, nigga,
Like her beer better than mine.
shake my nigga, and whatnot, and what have you, and all that." I said it wrong, but you know what? It sounds similar to what you say, Georgina. So I attribute it to you. You're the best in the world ever. Anyway, let me show you guys what I got. And actually, I went to my what do you call those things? The little free library, and I saw.
Yes, on a great stage couch for him.
And I saw this book, and I grabbed it. It's called "The Art of the Old West," and it's exactly what it is. It's a big hardcover of art during the Old West. It includes Native American art, settlers art, a lot of good stuff. So I'm gonna go through it, read about the history of the Old West, through the art. It's amazing how like art is. You can learn about cultures. Of a society through its art. So yeah, I'm gonna look into this, read about it. Here's the back cover. Okay, so it's real heavy. So if I threw this at one of you, you'd probably pass away, and I don't want to be responsible for the cost of burial and that stuff. So I'm not gonna do it. But just take my word for it. It's heavy as hail. Hail. Hiawatha said a pile of Dan's books from the 90s. Yeah, he did. He had a lot of like. We're gonna go into some of that. He had a lot of like issues, like for example, 8-Ball. We'll go into 8-Ball, and Fantagraphics actually published a collective volume of that stuff. So if you're a big Daniel Clowes fan and you don't have his, or if you want to catch up, they have the collective volumes of that. We'll get into that for sure. Some of it looks really good. Like it reminds me of what's his name, Scott McCloud. And there's some of his artwork, Clowes' artwork, that reminds me of Lynn Ward. We'll show some of that. Georgina Floyd says, "Hi, Lady Shadowband," by the way. So just throw that in there. Yeah, I'm behind the chat. Oh, this is a good chat. Wow, holy crap. We got people lighting up the chat. Lighting up the chat. This is sunshine for me. This is beautiful sunshine for me. I love it. Yes, he's got all the 8-Balls. Yes, all the 8-Balls. Fantagraphics also did I before E. Wow. Yes, he did. Sure. Anyway, before I go into Clowes, I got to do the thing. Okay, so let me do the thing before my life is judged. This right here is the book. This is issue number 5 of Omega Girl. It's what they sent me a week ago that I didn't open because I was going to do it on live on stream. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. Let's see. So go ahead and open it.
Oh my gosh, do you need me to open it for you?
I got this. I got this.
Are you that weak?
I got this.
Mm.
I got this.
I think that's
Oh, there. Okay, got it.
you cheated. I saw that pencil. He cheated, chat. Those muscles he's carrying are a lie. It's very entertaining. Gay dogs can open this by now. Sucker love boxes. That was pathetic. I mean, yay.
Anyway, here it is, issue number 5 of Omega Girl. There it is. So I'll read it for next week, and I'll do a review of it. So, pretty good cover, by the way. I like the dynamic design of it. So there it is. Anyway, Michael Diatis, don't cut your wrist. Osgrade says, bite it. We have found the missing link. What does that mean? What is this? What is wrong with me? Nothing. I'm here, Colors. I'm here. Is allowed using a blunt instrument to open a pack. No, I'm using tools of man, Henry Bemis. The tools of man. I am strong, Richie Duke. I'm very strong. You'd be surprised. I can bench press things. I really can. We're lucky he isn't in the shower. I showered earlier. And I ate earlier too, so I won't be eating during the stream. So you guys should be thankful for that I decided to eat something before stream instead of me eating during the stream and turning it into bukkake. Not bukkake. What's that word? What's that word? It's the wrong Japanese word. Holy crap! No, it's
Wow.
what's that word for
That might be a YouTube strike right there.
what's that word for freaking eating on the stream? I don't know.
Eating on
ASMR?
ASMR?
No, for eating on the stream. There's a word for that.
Oh.
I used the wrong Japanese word.
I don't know, you might have used the right one.
No, it's definitely bukkake. Anyway,
There are people that eat on this stream that do that.
okay, my co-host is late, so I'm playing him this intro.
You know what they say, nobody gives a hummer like a gummer.
What was that supposed to do?
That's to energize you.
Layla, are you a spastic?
That's to energize you for being on being on time. I'm trying to get the
You
wait.
You didn't stream on Monday, you asshole.
I had something to take care of.
Something came up.
I had to do something on Monday, so actually, yeah, something personal happened on Monday, and I went down to New York on Tuesday. So real life took over. So Michael Bancroft, no, that's not the kind of eating we're talking about, Michael. No,
It's
please.
totally the kind of eating he meant.
No. JD said it's Korean, by the way. Well, it's Korean, then what is the word? Instead of correcting me, tell me the word,
It's
JD.
mukbang.
Mukbang. There you go. It's mukbang.
Bang.
That's what it was. Yes, it was mukbang. Okay. yes, it was.
How did you think it was bukkake?
Because the chat is so full of negativity that tries to influence my mind to the dark side, and I cannot be influenced. I can be deterred for a minute, but I can't be influenced. Shame on you, Richie, for that. But anyway,
You are a
oh, wait.
degen for knowing what bukkake is.
Anyway, Benzinger says, I'm back. Sorry I missed out on the unboxing. Technical difficulties on my end. Well, Benzinger, it was a great unboxing. Like, I was able to open it with ease, and I showed everybody the book, and I'm going to be reviewing it next week. So, this is issue number 5 of Omega Girl. I'll be reviewing next week. So, I'm trying to be the chat, Henry, but you guys are. Oh yeah. I already got corrected. So yes, I will highlight your chat for the mukbang. Yes,
Come on and read the chat.
I can do that. Anyway, wait, what? What are you guys typing in the chat? What are you typing in the chat? I'm not blaming. No, but Michael, I'm not blaming anybody. I didn't blame nobody. This is false. You're joining the wrong team, Michael. We are creators. We can't be fighting with each other. This is not a drama stream. Helmet, you see what happened when you came into the stream? It became drama now. We're trying to unite it. We came in here and caused division. Why?
Because you opened a Gemini mailer like a spastic.
No, it was pure ease. It happened. It was pure ease.
Like bukkake.
It was. Kid says, I love like also gets excited for Kabuki Theater. Well, until he asked him to take him to go away, kisses. You know, I told Colors, make sure that Kissifus gets the link. I specifically asked for KSS to be in the chat. And she was rude to me, by the way, when I made that request. So I wanted my good friend KSS here, right? And what is he doing? He's here. He wants to throw shade at me. Well, not shade. He wants to throw spears at me. But regardless, it still hurts and it still pierces my skin. It was not at all necessary. At all. At all.
I always knew you were a Pornhub guy.
What?
Yeah, with the whole bukkake stuff.
No. Oh, I disavow that. I don't speak it in existence. I totally disavow it. Shame on you for that. Mood of hell. Shame on you. And here I thought that you were one of the good ones, but you're not.
Since when?
Since I don't know.
I think you should delete your Pornhub account because I will
I
most
don't have an
certainly
account. Helmet. You see, you're all the same. I call you Helmet. I call you kids. You're all the same now.
How dare you insult both of them?
Wait, who got insulted? How?
I like them both, so therefore you insulted both of them.
I'm trying to go through my files right now for the stream. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and all right. I'm just renaming one of my files. So when I show it in sequential order. There we go. Awesome. Okay. All right, because I had some of the files in a specific order, but I want to make sure I'm showing the right files first, so that it stays in that order. Okay. Let me open this up here. So yeah, Daniel Clowes. Are you familiar with Daniel Clowes?
not from the name.
Are you familiar with the movie Ghost World with Thor Birch and one of the first appearances of Scarlett Johansson?
Was Thora Birch that girl that showed her tits in American Beauty?
Am I thinking of? Oh, actually, no. Wait, am I thinking of the same girl? Hold on. Let me see. Because I know American Beauty. I was like, oh wait, is that the same girl? Let me see. I haven't seen Ghost World in eons. Let's see. But it could very well be. Let's see. Going to the IMDb. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Thor Birch. There you go. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's Thor Birch.
Okay, never heard of that movie.
Yeah, I barely remember it, but it was based off a graphic novel, and we'll go into the graphic novel later in the stream. But this is a self-portrait of Daniel Clowes. This is an example of one of his styles of artwork. But who is Daniel Clowes? Daniel Clowes. So he has been dubbed the second generation of underground comics artists. He came at the tail end of the alternative movement, which started in the early 80s with Eastman Laird and Gary Panther and all those guys. His work continues on today, so he's still pretty active. Among his influences are Art Crom, Hergé, who we covered, Harvey Pekar. He also listed as an influence Jack Chick. Do you know who Jack Chick is?
Someone related to the Romano family?
No, No, but okay. So you probably don't know. So are you familiar with those like religious tracts they used to give out back in the day? They were like cartoons, and they give them out.
Oh, the shit that the Jehovah's Witnesses put out.
No, these were more like I think this was part of the Independent Baptist staple. That circuit. Like, they used to do what they called chick tracks, and they were like little comic cartoons. They were kind of done in the style of like the Tijuana Bibles in a way. So I think maybe I don't know if the Tijuana Bible was a parody of that, but they were like little comic strips that were they would give to people that would have like the gospel message. They would have a story about a particular sinner, and he'd hear the gospel and he either accepted or he wouldn't, and he'd pay eternally for it. But uh, yeah, but it was a big thing. Actually, I had a collection of those years ago. I had a collection. I ordered them directly from the site, and I got a collection of them years ago. And it was pretty. They're entertaining, even if like they get very hilarious. Yeah, they are pretty hilarious. Actually, some of them are kind of silly, but they're entertaining as heck. I read them and I just get entertained by them. So I might buy them again because I don't know what I do with my collection. I think I lost them during my first marriage, which would surprise me. But um, they're fun to read, even if you don't agree with the religious view of it. They're kind of entertaining. In some cases, they're actually pretty funny. So the Laughing Man logo is from a chick track. Actually, that I think you talk about the one with EVS's logo because that was not proven to be true. That was actually from a different comic, and there was a whole controversy about that, but it wasn't from a chick track. That definitely wasn't. So I do want to just correct that. That was put out a little bit. That it was that's where it came from, but it did not. Mass Bennett, I remember Jim Rugg talking about the chick tracks, or however they name is spelled, on the Cartoons Kayfabe channel. They're as far as comic history is concerned, they're extremely relevant. And if you guys remember earlier on, like in one of my first few indie comic outlier streams, I talked about who was that artist? Howard Finster, and how his art was used in albums and other media, and he was painted weird stuff. Like his images were weird, but the way he mixed illustrations with text was what drew me. And he made millions of that. He built his life on those artwork. I may have to revisit Howard Finster just because as a refresher. But he was very religious too. Finster was pretty religious, and some of his artwork reflected his religiosity, including one image he drew of Jesus with his robe filled with all of his sayings from the New Testament. I thought that was pretty cool. So I said because he's not Jack Chick isn't the only comic artist that dabbled with religious imagery and storytelling, but I found the chick tracks to be entertaining, if nothing else. So let's see. Okay, so but you're not familiar with this, so maybe I'll do a Jack Chick in the comic outlier. Maybe I'll think about it because that would fit into the context of what we do in this show. But because it's really religious based, some people may not be down with it, but I still would do it just because it is still a significant part of comic history, and the artwork itself lends to that. Links, I'll be surprised if I learn one new thing here that I didn't hear on Cartoons Cave. Impress me, Lasbat. You want to impress you? I impressed you, Link. My presence impresses you. My presence impresses you. Do you believe this, Helmet? Do you believe this?
What?
What Link said about me?
Oh, I haven't listened to you talking for about 5 minutes.
I've been saying some important things, Helmut.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
Wait, we have an update. So Jabba's not dead. He's in someone else's streams. He's hanging over someone else's streams. He's part of the K Diddy group, I think. I don't know. Now or something. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, he's still in the ban zone as far as I know. So unless I get official word, he stays in the ban zone. Gee, nice try, but you're not getting any new people there. Tim Ellis says there are other religious comics people leave around that I think have done very well. Yeah, I've seen some good ones, artistically speaking. I haven't seen any that like told a good story. By good story, I mean like really treated the subject matter, the Bible, with actual maturity You either go like way too cartoony with the storytelling, or way too serious and totally get some doctrinal inconsistency put in the storytelling. That's a conversation for another day. Oh, Bancroft is saying that Jabba was on his chat the other day. Okay, very odd behavior from him. I think he's mentally ill. I think being in the band zone has put him over the edge, Michael. I really think that's what happened. I think I broke Jabbage. But he's still going to say Jabbage. He'll say Jabbage till I say so. No, some person, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Leave it alone. Let dead dogs die. That doesn't make sense. But still, it makes sense to me when I thought about it. Christian music is great. When did that happen now? When did that happen? I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends on who you ask.
I think with the rise of POD.
POD, that's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Because they were one of the major bands who did hard rock with Christian fusion stuff.
Yeah, Christian music.
Wasn't there a song from them, "Youth of a Nation" or something like that?
I don't know. You said POD and that struck a minor memory, but I can't for the life of me give details on that because
I think that was in the beginning of the 2000s.
That's probably I don't remember because honestly, like the first 4 or 5 years of the early 2000s, it's kind of a blur to me for some reason. I can't give any details other than just what I was doing in terms of work.
How old were you at the beginning of the 2000s? 50? 40?
I was in my 20s when I was in the early 2000s. I was young.
Yeah. Okay.
Christian punk rock was popular back in the 80s. Yeah, I maintain that a lot of Christian music artists are just doing that scene because they can't muster any other genres of music. A lot of people think that way too. So all you gotta do, like someone put in the chat, all you gotta do is put Jesus' name in a song like 4 or 5 times, and you have a Christian song. That's it. So it's really that. But look, I like some of the Christian music. I have quite a few in my MP3 collection, but a lot of it's just fluff. So it's like, nah, I'm good. But some of it, I have sentimental attachment to it. So I'm not gonna fault people for listening to it. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, you listen to contemporary Christian music? Oh, well, you're a liberal. It's like, no, if you like it, you like it. I like some of it, so I'm not going to tell people not to listen to it. Some of it is pretty good. Some of it is actually, very doctrinally sound, and some of it is deep, and some of it is just like milquetoast. But music is music, as long as there's, well, let me not say music is music. Some of it is kind of crappy. Music in general is what I'm saying. Let's see. The chat is lighting up about this. So let me see what they had to say about the contemporary Christian music here, because they're saying some stuff. Michael Diage says the spontaneous nuclear reaction that's been blowing out the left side of Last camera seems to be dying down now. That's not that is irrelevant to the conversation, Diache. Irrelevant to the conversation. We're being serious. I was just being serious. Some person says Power Wolf is a Catholic band, but pretty good metal. Their theme is Armenian werewolf Catholics. That's weird. Okay, well, I mean, okay, I guess. It's weird. Monkey King of Zealandia, who it really should be Plunchcast, but he wants to call us Monkey King, so sure, why not? He says, so you want to be a superstar? Welcome to Hollywood Quick Money. Oh, no, Hollywood Quick Money. 5 women, fast cars, welcome to Hollywood, so you want to be a superstar. No, I'm a superstar where I'm at. Oh, wait. Lady shut up and says, you have not been reading my promos to hit the like button. How dare you? Hit the like button so I can continue reading her chats. That way, I can keep showing her name on screen. So Lady Shabbat now is mad at the chat because only 13 of you want her to go to a spa. So that's always saying get the likes up. Otherwise, you don't want to go into a spa, and then I have to hear from it. So please name even one Christian band out right now. You mean contemporary Christian music bands? Well, let's see. There was Jesus Culture is one. Hillsong. Well, they're not really a rock band. Well, they kind of are, but not like hard rock. But they're another one. Hillsong. They Third Day. There's I think that's about it. I mean, look, I don't listen to a lot of it, so those are the 3 that I could probably name right now. But I'm not some expert or anything. What can I tell you? But oh yeah, DC Talk. Yeah, that they're a popular one. There was a movie, Mercy Me. Mercy Me. They had okay. So Mercy Me did that song. I can only imagine, and they did a movie about a biography of the lead singer's life with his father and everything, and that was a thing. And that song was actually in reference to his father because the lead singer had a bad relationship with his father most of his life. Then when he came to Christ, he tried to get his father converted. Him and his father didn't get along even then up until towards the end when he started showing his father mercy, literal mercy, because his father was battling his own demons, and he got his father to Christ towards the end, and then his father passed away. It was a touching story, if you're a father son and dichotomy, if you have some issues with your dad, that kind of story does tug at you. I'm not gonna get personal. I'm just saying because we got into the conversation about Christian music. So, a lot that tells you one new thing about Dan Clowes, and I'll hit the like button. You mean to tell me that Dan Clowes being influenced by Jack Chick wasn't new? That wasn't new, Link? Because as you can see, the conversation deviated to the Christian contemporary stuff, because people are talking about it. Andrew Chris, I don't like worship music. So okay, so let me ask you, Andrew. So what is the difference between contemporary Christian music and worship music? Because you go to well, I want to see what she. So you go to these churches and they're playing the CCM stuff and they call that worship music. So are you one of those that thinks that it's choir based? Which is fine. I'm just asking your opinion. What you think worship music is? Are you talking about the choir based, the Gregorian chants, things like that? That's what I mean. So August Burns Red is another. I guess that's another CCM band. So Forrest Frank has 9 million monthly listeners on Spotify. 9 million monthly listeners. Yeah, there you go. So another one. The movie star Dennis Quaid. Yeah, Dennis Quaid played the father in that movie. It was I can only imagine. Mercy Me, that song. So he played the father. Worship music is a sin in itself in how awful it is. A lot of it is, not all of it. So there are some that I hold dear to me that are pretty powerful, but a lot of it is crap. From a merit based perspective, So yeah, yes. So let's see. Let me see if Anna's answer my question before I go back to the conversation. Oliver 656 says Art School Confidential, great movie written by Daniel Clowes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Art School Confidential. I need to watch that one. I'm curious what he has to say about about art school culture, because I have my views on art school culture. So I'm curious what his views are. Some people share my views, some people don't. But in short, art school culture is tainted with the stench of snobbishness and among other things. Okay, so Andrew Kerr says contemporary worship, basically Christian music talking about life and me is annoying. Okay, so contemporary worship. So, so I guess you kind of say what I said, which is that it's contemporary Christian music is worship music. But you're saying that the songs that are passed off as Christian that are men focused are annoying. So yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that like I said, a lot of these songs they just mention Jesus once or twice in there, and then it just sounds like a regular song, except it's probably not a song that would pass muster in the music world. But
I like Christian music too. I listen to a lot of Christian music bands like Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, Gorgoroth, Burzum.
I can't tell if you're trolling or not. I don't know who these people are.
No, I'm totally not trolling.
Oh, okay. So you're being serious. Okay. Andrew's asking why are we talking about this? Because Daniel Clowes, one of his influences in the art world was Jack Chick, and we talked about the Chick tracts, and it led to this part of the conversation. So that's why we're talking about it. And look, it happened organically, and people in the chat are talking about it. So that's why these streams are cool, because when we get into these conversations, the chat opines, and then we just have some material and content. That's why. So let's see. Art School Confidential movie has some great scenes, especially when they meet Rent Control Jimmy. Perfection. Okay. Mazapan is giving it a good review, so I should check it out. So I'm gonna have to put that on my list. Our School Confidential. Okay, I think we're caught up, right? In the chat, yes. I think we are. I believe so. Okay. Good news, I just finished up my anime plans for this year. Speaking of anime, I saw Demon Slayer 2 weekends ago.
You have to be specific as to which one.
Infinity Castle, the one that just came out in theaters. I finally saw it. And I've never seen a single episode of Demon Slayer. I'm not familiar with the manga, but I saw it with my son because my son's a big Demon Slayer fan. And as someone who's like an outsider who has not followed it and is not too familiar with the characters, I kind of enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed it.
I gave you a rundown.
Yeah. She did show me a 20-minute video, give me a quick rundown of it, but still, like, you know, you still going kind of like not knowing too much about the world and little nuances, but I quite enjoy it. I followed the story pretty well. It's actually very good storytelling visually, and as far as like the story, the pacing of the storytelling and the how it's paced and how the plot is broken up. I thought it was pretty well done. Since Demon Slayer is based on a manga and a comic, it's comic based. Did you see K-pop Demon Hunter? I have not.
I have.
Do you recommend it? For me, do you recommend it? Is this something you think I would
I
like?
don't think you'll like it.
Okay, she says I won't.
If you want to watch some anime stuff, maybe you should give Jujutsu Kaisen a try.
Send me that because I'm trying to look for new anime that's not like Studio Ghibli stuff. So-
Or is it spelled Jujutsu Kaisen? Something like that.
Okay. Guy's asking, why watch the movie if you never saw it? Okay, Guy, pay attention. Follow along, Guy. This is why you're in the band zone. Follow along. My son is a Demon Slayer fan. I went to take him to see Demon Slayer because he's a Demon Slayer fan. By virtue of me being his father and because he's a minor, I sat and watched the movie with him. I quite enjoyed it. Not having seen the show, I was able to follow along somewhat with what the story was being told in the movie. So it's actually me reflecting on the strength of the movie storytelling. It's past $600 million worldwide. It's far more successful than many of our movies today, of the 2025, I should say. So yeah, that's why Guy's in the band zone, because you don't follow along. You don't follow along, Gifford. Watch Berserk, alas. Yeah, at some point I will. At some point. I hear good things about it. But my son is also a Berserk fan. He has the hardcover volumes. He's been collecting those, so I'll be getting into that. The K-pop Demon Hunter song is one of the worst things I've ever heard. It says Link. That's which one, so. Have I seen Blame? No, I've not seen Blame. I may have heard. Okay, he looks happy. Says well read. Yeah, that is Daniel Clowes. He's a very happy man. You be too, because we're talking about him. We're helping him with our community talk. So yeah, absolutely. I did follow. I'm ahead of you in the stream. Says Gifford. Well, I answered the question, Gifford. So I want a card sent to me thanking me for my efforts. Okay, I think I'm caught up in the chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on because we have a lot to cover. So there is 8 Ball. That's the cover of the collected works of 8 Ball. 8 Ball was published starting in 1989. It ran for 23 issues, and it ended its run in 2004. But if you go to Fantagraphics, you can get the collected works of 8 Ball, written and drawn by Clowes, and he experimented with all kinds of art styles. So he did like cartoony styles. He did some semi-realistic styles. That is that we'll get into that, but that's shot from the Ghost World film. This is David. This is so in the 20 plus issues. I think he did more than 20 plus. I think was it 23 issues that he did of the whole thing. I think it was, but after issue 19, before issue 19 of 8 Ball, the books, the comics were anthology based. From issue 19 on, they were singular stories. So issue 19, 2021 were the story of David Boring, which is one of his more famous works, and that got collected into a graphic novel called David Boring. So this is from 8 Ball. This is also from 8 Ball. So you can see the contrast between his art style. So you got something where he's heavily ink based, and you can see where it's kind of like a Lynn Ward style. This actually also reminds me of Scott McCloud too. There's a lot of Scott McCloud similarities with Clowes' artwork too. But he'll draw this and then he'll do this. So you can see he plays with various styles of art with 8-Ball. Yes, David Boringy. Dan says Monkey King. The last man just told me I can get an 8-Ball. Wait a minute. Are you a cop? Because you have to tell us if you're a cop. I don't gotta do nothing, Ken says. I don't gotta do nothing. Don't tell me what to do, Goofy. I do nothing. By the way, you can get it at Fantagraphics, which is where you get some beautiful hardcovers of some of your favorite comics. And they'll sell things like, but not limited to, the Donald Duck, Carl Barks stories. This is my second hardcover, Donald Duck, Carl Barks. So I'm gonna read this, but yeah, you can get a lot of these. I bought the Popeye stuff as well. So Fantagraphics has a series of beautiful collections in hardcover that you can buy of comics from yesteryear. So, is David Bourne related to Elasma? Says Guy. That would make sense. It would make sense in your head canon, Guy, but you're in the band zone, so it doesn't matter. Hell, why aren't you defending me? You're my co-host. Why aren't you defending this insanity?
What now?
Did you hear what I said?
I'm sometimes phasing out when you talk too much and too long.
I'm daring you. Okay, no, goodbye.
Oh, now I'm alone. All to myself without the peanut head. What should I do? Time for the chat, I would say. Oh, Michael Bancroft is here. Is he imagining that Oscar? Who? The peanut head? Since we now know that he knows about Bukkake, I would say so. Oscrate Sage. Duckboy is a Chloe. Look at the left side of his potato can. The flickering lights on the left side, or what do you mean? Rename the stream Sprockets, some person. I know that gag from Saturday Night Live with Michael Myers. That was good. The gag about the German art show Sprockets. Henry Bemis. Elasma told me that Clowes' most famous work is called like a velvet cloth drenched in bukkake. Checks out. I don't know that guy either. I can't tell you anything about that guy. Angela Curry. I'm multitasking at Kissy. I'm sorry, but it's still close to my birthday and I miss you too. Oh, are you flirting in the chat? Have I missed something?
Okay, look, this is a family stream. There's no flirting allowed. We got to keep it clean, keep it appropriate, please. So, let's continue on. So here's another, this is another cover of 8-Ball. So you can see how he plays various styles. And this is from 8-Ball. So this is where he got that Jack Chick parody thing going. So this is from a parody track called Devil Doll. And finally, we're looking at comics that are actually in English for once, so we don't have to worry about translation. In this panel, someone's saying, "What do you think?" I'm assuming the person holding the mirror is the devil, and he says, "What do you think, Pat?" And Pat is like, "I think it looks blanking radical. Now you're one of us, Pat. There's no turning back." And here's another panel from Devil Doll. The more I learn about witchcraft and the occult, the more powerful I feel. Hail Satan. What are you, Ethan Van Scott? Anyway, so he replies, "Come back around night, Pat. We're having a bloodless sacrifice in the basement. Far out, ha ha." So, is that a troon? Says Guy. No, I guess that's a woman, supposedly. Osgrace says, "How can you not flirt with Georgina? She's a goddess in her prime." Listen, Oz, I sang praises earlier in the stream. You people not listen to my streams? Do you not listen to what I say? I praised her earlier on. God. You act like you just come in and I just sit and watch at a blank screen and not acknowledge that I've said some things and espoused and expressed verbiage that was important and pertinent to your lives. Like this is embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing today. Like what is wrong with you? You're insulting my friend Helmut. Helmut, I'm sorry they're doing this to you, but I'm trying to get him back on track, but they seem to not respect your presence. This is insulting, man. I really feel bad for you.
Oh, the guys in the chat, they love me. I don't know what you want.
It's Stockholm syndrome. I promise you. Anyway, so Master Panda says the character of the pentagram in her forehead resembles Marilyn Manson in that previous panel, but it might just be me. It's possible. Yeah, you know. Let me see. Yeah, it checks out. That does look like Marilyn Manson. So, yeah. Was Clowes the one who did Blanket or Habibi? Because Habibi was shit. Did he do Habibi? I don't think. Let me see. I don't think it was he did Habibi. Let me see. Let me find that right now. Habibi. I like saying that. Habibi. Craig Thompson is the guy who did Habibi. So there you go.
That sounds like some Middle Eastern shit.
Probably is. I don't know. It might be. This is a David Boring. This is the graphic novel that was taken from the pages of 8 Ball, and again you can see again a different style of art that he experiments with here. This one is definitely a bit more grounded, but he had that range. Clowes was one of those people that actually had range with his art style. I'm experiencing a secondhand embarrassment. I'm sorry, Bancroft, they did this to you. I'm sorry that they did this to you. Shouldn't be doing this to me. You did this. You guys did to Bancroft. I don't care what you think about me. Bancroft, he's an ambassador. What's wrong with you people in the chat?
Poor Michael Bancroft.
And you know what? He's actually sacrificing his reputation by being in my chat. Think about that. And he's embarrassed. That's a reflection on me. I shouldn't let that be a reflection on me, but it is.
You can't lose Michael Bancroft because he's Cloud in person.
No, we can't lose Bancroft. Yeah, we can't lose him because if we lose him, then we're taking steps backwards in this community for the comics. Thank you, my love. She brought me a fizzy drink for my bleeding throat.
Fizzy drink. Yeah, that checks out.
It was glorifying. Oh, that's why. Because here's what. But he said that book glorified slavery. So.
Is it about Islam, Lunchcast? Because I know how you love Islam.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right there,
Okay.
Yeah. Now I gotta look into that. Now I have to look into that because that's interesting. So I gotta see that because that might be something I could like review and talk about if that's the case. That'd be an interesting video review. So, I do want to do more like video reviews, but I gotta make sure that they're well edited so people can watch it. Otherwise, they won't have to care about me rambling about stuff that they can probably hear from other channels. Here's the cover of Ghost World. This is his most famous work, which became a movie. Let me just catch up in the chat. Massive fans. I wonder if Clowes ever experiences carpal tunnel in his wrist with how clean those lines are. I imagine you have to bear down with the pen pretty firmly to achieve that line work. Some people can actually draw straight with an ink pen. It is practice. I think it begins at an early age, though. Some people have that ability to do that.
Can you tell me what's about in the story of Ghost World? Because I don't know that stuff.
Ghost World is like a coming of age story. It's really just about a girl and her life growing up. So it's a comedy. And
like Breakfast Club or
I'm trying to think. I would say totally maybe.
Because I like those youth movies like Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller's Day Off and stuff like that.
Yeah, this isn't really a Hughes style movie though, so I'm trying to think of totally what it would be like.
Daria, maybe. Something like.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yes, perfect. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Daria. Yes. It kind of has that Daria feel of it because Daria is a very cynical character, and her show is about the world through her eyes and her experiences. So, same thing with Ghost World. It's that kind of movie, and the book too as well. So, so it's about this girl, the main character. What is her name?
Sora Birch.
Her character, yes, her character. I think it's Enid Coastal. I think her name is her name. Enid and her friend Rebecca. So Enid and Rebecca, they're two teenage girls, and it's about their friendship and stuff that happens around their town, and they go through all kinds of adventures. coming of age type of stuff. So it's not like any grand comic book style adventure, but just a regular story told in comic format. And because it's comic format, Clowes was able to use the imagery to his best and allow the visuals to really give a feel for the world around her. And as a matter of fact, there was a review. I saw a review of this, and they talked about how he used the art and the way he used the art to tell the story. So let me show you. This is from Comics Journal. Let me read this. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So this is the review of Ghost World, and this paragraph here is what I wanted to highlight because listen to what this person says. Let me just break it bigger so you guys can see it. Okay. So the reviewer for Comics Journal, what's his name? Let me give him proper credit. This is Ken Perrell, reviewed on December 18th, 2017. Ghost World at 20, Daniel Clowes' dialogue. Okay, so here's what he says about how the artwork services the story. He says, Clowes carefully sets up his panels, creating subtle interplay between dialogue, settings, and the characters' facial expressions. As her decade-long relationship with Rebecca ends, Enid leaves town, making her escape without telling friends or family. While the end of a friendship would likely elicit visible emotion from most teenagers, Enid's expressions is hard to read. Unlike her standard sneers, smiles, and smirks, it's strangely blank. Does her apparent lack of emotion undermine the compliment she pays to Rebecca, whom she may never see again? It certainly complicates any simple characterization of her feelings. Watching Rebecca and Josh, as she speaks this line, Enid is alone, set against billowy clouds in the panel's background, clouds that almost threaten to envelop her. The clouds convey a sense of drama. They're a romanticized way to stage the moment, yet Enid's face is deadpan, not dramatic. Perhaps the natural environment adds or even reveals emotional content that her face conceals. Clowes also counterbalances the drama of the clouds with a hint of semi-urban setting that has such a powerful presence in Enid's life and throughout Clowes' comic. So basically, the TLDR is that the background art gave the emotional story. The way he used the background to create the entirety of what he was telling in that one panel is where the storytelling Ghost World excels, and how he used the art, and not so much how he drew it, but how he designed it. So, like for example, this right here, this image in particular, this is the deadpan look that the writer was talking about. Ken Perrell was, but you can see how the clouds definitely create a sense of mood. You know, I don't. What do you guys think in the chat about the clouds here? What mood does it create for you when you see this panel? Slice of Life is very popular on Webtoon. Oh yeah, because of the crowd, the age demographic Webtoons. These kind of comics thrive over there. Cape shit, not so much. See, comics ain't about cape stuff. Ain't about superheroes. That's a very small sector of comics. But stuff like this comic got all kinds of accolades, like all kinds of awards. Time Magazine called it the most readable comic of the year in 1998. So it was popular for a reason. And I would stress partly because of what Scott McCloud talked about in terms of the universality of the art style, which lends to more mass appeal than if it was just straight up drawn like realistic. Michael Diache says, it's about a girl, stuff happens. Read by last. That's a great review. That review, Diache, will get people to buy the book. Because it is about a girl and stuff does happen. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? That's the truth. That is the most honest review of a book anybody can give. I'm important. I'm special. That is a great review. Do you disagree, Helmut, that was a great review?
I guess so. The most stories about teenagers are about the teenagers being assholes, and it's like in reality.
You know what? Excellent point. It's like reality. In reality, stuff happens. Does it not, Michael Diache? Stuff happens in reality, and this book reflects the stuff happening. Okay, stuff is happening in the book, and just like it happens in reality, the stuff happening is a great genre of storytelling in comics today. So it fits in there.
Also, that chick looks like Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
It reminded me also of Thelma from Scooby-Doo too. She has that Thelma look for some of the gooners out there. Anyway, KSS says, I'm working on a slice of life comic strip for webtoons. It's called Alberto. It's about a lispy Puerto Rican who eats hungry man TV dinners and plays with action figures. Wait a minute! You're not doing that. You're just mocking me, aren't you? And I don't eat hungry man dinners, Kissy. I don't do that.
He also doesn't take baths because he doesn't have a bath. He only showers, and only if cameras are on.
You're so hurtful, Helmet. You're so hurtful.
Hey.
You're supposed to be defending me against the chat.
I didn't do shower streams. It was all you.
You gave Prime beefies. You made him open beefies with his bare feet.
I had to see your nipples on that stream.
You deflect from Prime's bare feet.
They were Nutella colored. It was awful. I have PTSD from your shower streams.
Well, Osgreat Sage is trying to answer my question from earlier that no one wants to answer about the Clowes. He said spooky, foreboding, and that's how you feel. Colin says poo. Poo. That's weird. That's very weird. Anyway, a lot of that study under Carmine Infantino and demands respect. I do, Link. I'm glad you put it out there. I'm so glad. 100%. See, there we go, guys. Link gets it. Link is my ambassador to the rest of you chat. You can learn from Link. Linkovich is not my official ambassador. He understands. He finally gets me. He finally gets me. So the rest of you chat, the rest of you guys in the chat, learn from Linkovich. He's not my ambassador to you people. Totally. I say they give the panel gloom effects as Michael Bancroft. I think so too. I think there's definitely a gloominess there. Reminds me of a rainy day in New York. Not my favorite, but some purposes, I see the clouds as a way to bring out the foreground. I don't think it's any deeper than that. Here's the thing, some person. I know it's not deeper than that, but the problem is modern comics, especially in the indie scene, they don't understand visual storytelling. They think too much detail, detail all over, detail. Everything's got to be detailed. The foreground and the background got to be detailed. They forget that, well, visually, you're not telling the story. You're just putting noise in the picture. This is simple, but it's so effective and so universal that it got a lot of people talking about it, and it became a feature film. You can draw nice drawings, but you got to design it in a way where it tells the story. Just putting detail all over is not storytelling. It's just you're putting detail noise on it, and there. I mean, there's what's the word? There is effective visual storytelling, and then there's obnoxious noise. That's my point. So, hold on, I gotta calm the bleeding in my throat. Plungecast, never speak of it. Ever. Never speak of it. Okay? I made one fortunate comment in the chat, went off the rails. Because they're not here for comics. They're here for drama and to destroy my community. But it's not going to happen. My community is not getting destroyed. So they can try. No, Henry Beavis, I cannot. We're talking comics. We're talking Daniel Clowes. We're not talking this. Yeah. So I'm praising. Yeah, I know they have their heads up their asses. Oh, yeah. Far up their asses. I like how Daniel Clowes draws people and how he colors the sky. It's effective. It's very effective storytelling. And that's why one of the reasons why I covered him, because I'm like, yeah, this reminds me a lot of Scott McCloud. And like, well, we should definitely cover him, especially since his book became a well-known motion picture, and his book also was pretty well received and given a lot of accolades. So I said, yeah, let's cover this guy's art. Let's cover how his art led to $1 million film. You guys with the Bukkake comics. Stop with the Bukkake. I'm trying to do a comic book. Now you got Bancroft doing this? Really, Bancroft? Really? Really? I trusted you to bring prestige to my stream. Now you got Tim Olsen following along? Not necessary. Not necessary. I expect this from Guy. Yeah, Guy does this because he's in the ban zone. It's all degeneracy in the ban zone. So I expect this from Guy. But from Osgreat Sage and Kissy of all people, that was not expected.
It just dawned on me. We now know what Road Warrior Drake was doing in the high grass with those strange.
Oh no, we lost Helmet. His connection got bad. Oh damn it, Helmet. Fix your connection, Helmet. Oh, you're back. There you go. Okay, great. Thought I lost you for a second.
Tisk. I talk one time about your comic and then you are
I
shutting me
my
out.
fault. Your internet went out. It's not my fault.
My internet is stable, unlike yours, my friend.
Listen, I'm a culture warrior. I'm a culture warrior.
Mhm.
I'm a culture warrior. Yeah.
And what was Road Warrior Drake supposed to do in the high grass with those strange people around?
He was talking to members of a
with no pants on.
He had pants on. What are you talking about? He doesn't have a shirt on because he broke it because he's muscular, but he had pants. Why is somebody talking about the comic? Get the chat away from this conversation. Let's talk about the comic. That's what we're doing this for. Pearl necklace? Really? Really? I know what that means, Punch guys. I know what that means. You guys are sick. You guys are sick. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna look for that panel. I'm gonna take a break from Daniel Clowes for a second, and I'm gonna show you guys the panel that these people, these degenerates, keep talking about with my book, Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, which is done fulfillment, and I'll be sending more books out this week. Let's see. Let me go to the page in question.
PSA: that panel is not safe for work.
It is safe for work. Hold on. Let me bring it up. What page is it? I think it's like page 100 or something. Let me see. I will find it. And while you're doing that, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button because I'm worth it. Is this it here? Let's see. Here. Oh, this is so it's page number. Oh wait. I have to go further. Oh no, back. I gotta go backwards. Hold on. I went ahead. Okay. Page 118. Okay. Page 118. We're going to put this rumor to rest once and for all. Once and for all. Once and for all. Here we go. Okay. So here's the panel in question on the top. It's very clear what's going on in the panel.
Yeah, he's playing 5 against Willie.
There is not. What's wrong with you?
And the people are watching around him.
Kissy, don't put that in the Aethersphere, please. No, Henry Beavis, it's not, and never speak of it again. Ever. Never speak of it again. Yes, but that has nothing to do with my book. None of this has anything to do with my book at all. That's disgusting. I can't believe this being typed in my chat all places. Tim Moss says, if this was a CG stream, think of the children have a different. Oh no. Damn it. Oh, I can't believe I read that. Oh, crap. He's not lying, but still. Oh, God, no. Oh, I mean, they surround him in a circle. Not necessarily a circle, more like a semicircle. Yeah, like a semicircle.
So what is supposed to happen in that panel besides Drake playing 5 against Willie?
They're not playing 5 against Willie. You have to read the book. Did you read the book?
How? I don't have it.
You didn't back my book?
I told you maybe 100 times that when we see each other in person, I will buy it from you.
Oh, yes. You did say that. Yes, you did.
Because I want a personal thank you note in my books from you.
Yes, that is true. Yes. No, this is not beat off Citizen Road Warrior Drake Fresh. He's got two. What do you say? 2 asses. He's got. You're sick. You're sick. He doesn't have 2 asses there. What are you talking about? Where do you see 2 asses? You guys are just trying to start drama. There's no drama ever. We went from talking about Christian music to this. Shame. This is the chat's fault, Angela. This is the chat's fault. I don't know what to tell you, but I was trying to do comics, and they won't do comics. They won't do something else. And now they're maligning me and my stuff, so I have to go and show them what I'm talking about. We can't see if any other characters have pants on. They do. They absolutely do. They really do. Oh, God.
Is it on a nudist beach?
No, it's not. This is what kind of beach has skyscrapers on it?
Or a resort. That would explain why those weird people are surrounding Road Warrior Drake half naked.
No, Guy, this is why you stay in the band zone. This is why you stay in the band zone. Montross. Donald Gifford Montross. That's his full name, and that's why he's there. He's in the band zone. Shipment to Germany is 10,000. I'm worth it though, KSS. I'm worth it. Totally worth it. This week comes learn about Doug necrophilia and oh, dear, actually, no, I don't do that stuff. God, what's wrong with you people? Get back on track.
You still haven't refuted any of what we are saying. What is happening in that panel?
Those shoulders are a butt to some person. He's not a human being. He's got a body frame like the Hulk. Some person. I used a Hulk model to draw that. I used that as a reference to get the anatomy for Drake's abnormal body shape because he's not human. That building fell over in shame after witnessing what was taking place in that long. Oh, come on! No! You're rewriting my story. I don't like it. This is like Flush Gordon all over again. I'm getting out of here. All right. Yeah, you guys deserve that. You deserve that. Here I am being all nice and professional to you people. You don't appreciate it. We're talking about Daniel Clowes' Ghost World, and people don't appreciate it. Here's a panel from Ghost World. So this is an example of the art style and the visual storytelling. Right here. My throat feels better after all the bleeding from pushing people back from your degeneracy. This is what kind of book is it? Are you talking about my book, Beast Citizen Rotary Drake, or this book, Ghost World? Which one? I don't. You gotta be more. Yes, Andrew Craig, Flush Gordon. These people in the chat are turning my book into a Flush Gordon style story. If you know, you know. Flush Gordon. Yes. If you know, you know. Squeal like a no. I'm not reading that. It's got Flush Gordon has claymation for monsters. It was the first. By the way, Flush Gordon. Here's a little trivia. Is the acting debut, even though it's voice acting, of Craig T. Nelson. You guys remember Craig T. Nelson?
No.
Oh, you guys in the chat remember Craig T. Nelson? You sure he was the villain in Action Jackson with Carl Weathers. He was also the father in Poltergeist. Am I clogging your brain now?
I try to remember how that guy looks like.
Okay. I would have to show you then, I guess. Hold on. Okay, so let me show you Craig T. Nelson from Poltergeist. I guess this is probably the best picture I can show. But yeah, this is Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, I'm not even sharing the screen. Hold on. Okay. I guess we got to share the screen again because we were deviating again from the conversation. But yeah, this is Craig T. Nelson from Poltergeist right here. That's him right there. And his debut film was Flush Gordon playing the voice of a claymation monster.
Oh, now I remember that actor.
Vin Ziegler says, okay, no, don't go. I want to talk about Road Warrior Drake. I'm curious about him. What's his backstory? Does he have some powers? He's strong. He's physically strong. He's abnormally strong. But that's the extent of his powers. The strength of the character is his sarcastic wit, his cynicism at times, and he's basically his presence is the sharp knife that pierces through the seriousness of what's happening in the story. So the comedy is centered around him. And the story of Beast and Road Warrior Drake is the progression of his status in the human world from before he started off in the background to being a member of society to being now put into politics. It's supposed to be a satire on his view on human politics and what happens with him as he experiences the degradation and the backstabbing and all that stuff. So it's a referendum on that. So Trillis gave it a good review, by the way. He liked Beast and Road Warrior Drake, so I'm waiting for more reviews from it. Craig T. Nelson was also coach. Yeah, he was in coach for a few seasons. Yeah, I remember that. So I remember coach. Yes. Yes. Dick Spaceships. That's a Flesh Gordon. Dick Spaceships. One-Eye Monsters. Like, yes. Oh God, yes. And they were animated, like stop motion animation. He's the voice of Mr. Incredible. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot he was that. Yeah. Okay. Self-insert that up. Oh, you mean with my powers? Yeah, I am pretty powerful. Yeah, so yeah. Drake is totally my self-insert. I'm absolutely strong. See, Bancroft is a fan, so that's why it works out well. So you guys need to like be more in tune with my prowess because I have that ability.
I thought Taco the Narc is your self-insert.
Taco the Narc is the villain, one of the villains of the story. How dare you put him in my well? Anyway, I'm gonna continue on because you're hurtful. You're absolutely hurtful. Oh wait, Tim says what? Wait, I mean the next book. Wait, joke ruined. Yeah, I don't know what the joke was. I don't know. Anyway, there's a nomad. Finally, something serious in the chat. Hail chat says Desert Nomad. Where have you been, Desert Nomad? Where have you been? The chat's been derailed. I needed your prestige. We were missing it in the chat. We needed to have you back here. Wallywood did Flesh Gordon for Mad Magazine. Look it up. I'm not surprised. I'm totally not surprised. I guarantee a lot of these artists did some degenerate stuff on the side and probably used pen names too to get some extra money. No shame if they did, because you got to make your way in the world of art, in the world of comics. So, but I'd be curious to see if they did and who did and what pen names they used. So here's okay. This is the panel we're talking about from Ghost World. Here's another page from Ghost World right here. He does a little bit of the blue tint, but in some panels it's just pure black and white. But again, look how he designs the panel. You got the characters not even in the middle; they're kind of positioned more towards the right. And you notice how like the gates are all pointing at them. This is the kind of panel that Carmine Infantino would like, with the way the objects are drawn in a way to draw you visually to the main characters in the panel. This is exactly the kind of panel that he would approve of. Carmine Infantino. Dr. Flesky Jorgov is the main villain of Flesh Gordon. Yep, that's true. Yeah. Did this guy do anything for Mad? He not Mad. He did Love and Rockets. He did some artwork for Love and Rockets, among other things. So, and what else? What else did he do artwork for? What other magazines he did? He did Village Voice. Oh, he also did National Lampoons. He did National Lampoons as well. So he may have not done Mad, but he did National Lampoon magazine. So yeah, he was frequent there. Chat derailed, went off a ravine, and now burrowing down through the mantle. Yeah, this is a disaster. This whole thing was a disaster. Never should have happened. I should have gone live tonight. I should have just stayed DED. Emperor Wang, the perverted, says Plungecast. Yes, Emperor Wang. Wallywood did spicy art, but sometimes he just did it to tick people off. See his Disney art. You know what's funny? Somebody on okay, so now we're gonna derail again a bit. So somebody had put out a post on X about Walt Disney going before a committee. I think it was 1947, in which he was warning about the evils of communism infecting the industry. So people don't know this, but Walt Disney was anti-communist. He'd be turning in his grave if he saw what it became now. So, ooh, I gotta look into that one. That's probably an interesting thing to research. Actually, you know, I should do a video on that. On Walt Disney's appearance before the committee about communism. That'd be a good thing to talk about on a video. I gotta look into that. My mind just get the door, by the way. What are you talking about? The stream was great. Maybe for you, but for me trying to run it, it's been a nightmare. And you know what's funny? I didn't even eat today. I didn't even eat during the stream. I spared you me eating. That's where I started from. We talking about eating on the stream. I'm gonna shut up because I'm just gonna get into trouble again. I'm gonna be quiet. Anyway, next panel. So yeah, here's a whole page from Ghost World. Did we just see this panel? Wait, this page? No, we did not. We did not. Okay, so this is a page from Ghost World. Just to get an idea of the panels and the sequential storytelling in this book. Like with me, like I did with Beast of World War Drake. He plays with the blue tint. The blue tint's a thing. It wasn't just Scott McCloud who did it. It wasn't some other comic that had Batman in it. It was Daniel Clowes also did it too. It's a wonderful color to work with when you're doing um mood and you just want to just stick with like simplistic coloring. It works great. It works wonders. Oh yeah, I just went ahead. Here we go. Let's go to the next page. You know the wonderful thing about this book from the looks of it, which is missing in a lot of indie comics, is the writing. There's a lot of writing, so you could spend at least about a minute or two reading a page instead of just glossing over the pretty pictures and moving to another pretty pictures and turn the page and you get maybe one bullet of dialogue to see more pretty pictures. No, there's an actual story being told and you can actually read it. People forget you can read comics. They don't want to read comics. Is it me? Am I spewing nonsense, Helmut, or is that a thing where like modern comics in the indie scene are not? They're not writing. They're not doing a lot of writing. And I don't mean exposition dump like with John Mayallon's Godlike. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about writing where it's like it's you're reading it and it's adding to the story, not just doing like exposition dump. You're reading like the witty dialogue and you'll follow along with the story.
Yeah, but that's maybe only Comicsgate, because if you look outside that, you will find indie comics that have a lot of substance, which is missing in Comicsgate books, because most of the Comicsgate books are vaporware.
Yeah, and Comicsgate books are just a tiny percentage of the indie market. So, but books like this takes up a good chunk of the indie market, and they experiment the right way. They know how to, they know what to draw and the story they're telling and how to play with the medium. And
Yeah, but there's a danger in it, because if you get too artsy-fartsy, it gets boring.
True. I agree with that. I there is a limit, or an extreme rather, that if it gets, as you say, artsy-fartsy, it becomes boring, pretentious. I'll say pretentious. It totally.
Yeah, huffing your own farts, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some ego masturbation, self-insert bullshit, like 133.
Ooh, that someone's getting hurt with that one. Okay. Anyway.
I'm sorry. It's just what I saw.
Yeah. Tim Olsen's asking, after the third book of Road Warrior, what is next? So I'll segue into this. So what is next, Tim Olsen? Well, let me show you what's next. I am going to be doing a third Road Warrior graphic novel, and it's going to be the final graphic novel in the epic saga. So originally it was going to be a trilogy, and that's when I'm walking away. But no, I'm going to do the trilogy, and then I'll be doing individual stories that take place within the time frame of the trilogy, like self-contained stories. But I am going to be doing my second. Let me see if I can show the. Okay, this is not colored yet, but this is the. So, do you remember my Pumpkin War Patch comic that people like talking about? That was for you, would have helped.
I was drinking something. What have you said?
He's like, I'm drinking too. Look. I still pay attention. Oh, shit,
yeah, I have a fizzy drink too.
Okay, well, I'm running the stream. I'm talking, drinking, and chatting. So I'm multitasking. What's your excuse?
I'm German.
Anyway, so you remember my Pumpkin War Patch comic that was the rage of Comicsgate and the Masters and Crowd and all those other retards? You remember that book?
Which book?
Pumpkin War Patch.
The Ash Can?
Yes. Well, originally was the Ash Can, but I'm turning it into a floppy now. But
I remember vaguely a cat fight between two female characters.
Right. But I did a cover for the second issue, and that became all the talk of the town. So I'm actually redrawing the cover, and I'm showing the line art. I haven't finished coloring it yet, so I'm just going to show the line art. But this is the redrawn cover for the second issue right here. So you guys can
Why
see it,
are there pig people in the background?
That you'll have to read the story to find out.
Oh, okay. And why is the PKI bigger than the rest in the Pumpkin War Patch name?
it's an a artistic choice. It's, yeah.
I saw it stands for something.
Oh no, wait. No, it doesn't. I see what you mean by that, but no, it doesn't. No.
Looks
Yeah,
like a
that
damsel in distress comic.
was pumping a bunch of horror comics. No, it's gonna be a very weird, dark but weird comic. Rory Drake is like a comedy action adventure. The Pumpkin War Patch are gonna be more like action adventure but darker. So it won't have the humor that Road Drake does, and they're gonna be floppies. It's like 20+ page floppies that I'm doing. So they'll be done within a month, and then crowdfunding them on Kickstarter. I'm going on Kickstarter for this. So, Mads fans, did the outrage of your comic transpire on Twitter? Maybe I need to get on this art post. I don't even know about this. Yeah, it happened on X. It just took over from there, and people got mad because I dared critique CG and show the receipts and everything. So they went after my art, which stupid move because it just proved my point. And on top of that, like I understand the scene enough to know that if I put my artwork out there, people are going to critique it. They're just going to critique it. So I see what they say, and sometimes it inspires me to go back and say, hey, let me redraw that and make it look better. Maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe I just go back and redraw it. So this is the new cover for the issue number 2. So, and it's colored, but only half of it is colored. So I'm just going to show the line art for now. But that's what the new cover looks like now. Pumpkin is my comic about my cousins who formed a band called the Sex Pistols. Oh, okay. I guess there's a joke there. I don't know, Kissy. But I can't tell with you anymore, Kissy. I can't tell with you anymore. I really don't know what to tell you. So, all right, should I show the colored version? Because I only colored I colored her and the background character. I didn't color the background yet. So I want to show the whole thing colored before I show a part of it. So I'm just showing the line art for now. But being proactive with the criticism, says Desert Nomad. In this space, you gotta be. Like you can't be. Look, Ethan Grant Skyler is very soft on criticism. Sven Stavel's soft on criticism. John Malin's soft on criticism. All these guys are soft on criticism. They haven't had it anywhere near as bad as I did. And do you think I did a stream bragging about it? No, I watched, I listened, and I'm like, you know what? Can I make this better? Maybe I can. Maybe I should. Maybe I should challenge myself and make it better. And challenge myself and just do it quietly. So I'm just showing you what the cover for the new cover looks like so far and where I'm going with the story. It's gonna be a very interesting, weird story, but it's I think you'll enjoy it. I'm taking advantage of the indie comic resources to tell the story that I want to tell, and it takes place in the Road Warrior Drake universe, but it doesn't reference Drake because it's a separate tonal. It's separate from Drake, so I don't want to have the two coincide. But it isn't canon. So yeah, but yeah, that's the segue. So that was the answer to Wilson's question about what my plan is with after Beastars and Road Warrior Drake. So, but yeah, so a little bit of that, and now let me go ahead and continue on or try to finish the Daniel Clowes portion of our stream here, as we were doing Ghost World. So yeah, you can see the strength of his designs. Of his artwork, and as well as the placement of the word balloons. So I'm a fan of how artists place their word balloons and how it has a relationship with the illustrations. So, Mass Fans, it became obvious how it works around these parts. When you're in our good graces, your artwork is cool. When we're in disagreement with you, your artwork is trash. Very principled. People that trash my book bought it first, and they saw the artwork, and they paid me money to give them a copy of my book for them to say, oh, this book is shit, even though they saw the art before and it wasn't different from what was advertised. So this statement is 100% true, Master Panda. This is why I'm okay with people who are cool with me that don't like my book. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty. Just don't be a snake and say that my stuff is good, and then when I say something you don't like, oh, your artwork is shit. I think you're a phony when you do that. So that's just my opinion on that. Okay, it says, I like Daniel Clowes' art. I like his art. His art reminds me of Scott McCloud. And I like his art too. This reminds me a lot of The Sculptor visually. The Sculptor is one of my favorite graphic novels. I talked about it when I did the Scott McCloud stream. It's one of my favorite graphic novels. Visually, the artwork is impressive, and the story being told was also impressive. Very, very well written. And I had not read Ghost World. I saw the movie years ago. I remember kind of liking it, but it was a one-time watch for me as far as I was concerned. But I know that movies like this and what was that other movie that the one that Mark Millar did, the book that became a movie. It was from years ago. I forgot who was in it. My mind is all kinds of fucked up. But there's a lot of books that I've seen the movies of that I have not read the comics that inspired it that I got to go back and read because I'm missing out on a lot. I like Elasmat's book. Elasmat, on the other hand, see, I'd rather have that. I'd rather you like my book and hate me. That I can sleep at night with that mentality. Casey, for once, I agree with you. I will put that in the back of the book. I like Elasmat's dreams is bankrupt. So we have a comment. So people are breaking down the parts they like and don't like about me. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I got confused with who's McCloud and Clowes. So this is David Clowes, the artist and writer for Ghost World, who we're doing the stream on today. Scott McCloud is the guy that did those series of books called Understanding Comics, which was a staple of many an art college, including the one I went to. And he also did The Sculptor, which is one of the most acclaimed graphic novels in the last 10, 15 years. One of my favorites. So let's see. Yes, McCloud and Clowes both like doing those single color tones in their pages. Is this what made you want to do a color tone and be? Yep, that's what it was. It was Scott McCloud's Sculptor is what made me say, hey, you know what? I want to do that color tone for Beast and Road Warrior Drake. So, wait, was it? No, it wasn't McCloud. It just so happened that McCloud had that blue tone, but it was. I saw an image from a Batman comic in which it had that blue tone, and I said, I'm going to do that tone for this book. I think it might. I'm going to go from the black and white from the first book to the blue tone in the second book. And then the Scott McCloud book further encouraged that choice to make it a blue tone. And to me, it works wonders. So, I like a lot about I hate it when you confuse. It was a mistake. It was a life mistake. I made an error in my life, Henry Bemis. Let me be human. Yes, please back the Lucid Fractured Mind by Michael Bancroft. There's the link to the get it on Bancroft's website at thelucentric.com. Lucentric.com. If you haven't backed the Lucent, go ahead and back it. Not back it. Well, buy it because it's not a crowdfund. You can buy it on Bancroft's website at lucentric.com because he's doing what other creators should be doing, including me. I should be doing it, but I have not yet. But he's got his own website and putting his own products on there. So shout out to Michael Bancroft for doing it the way we're supposed to be doing it. Lucentric.com, where you can buy Lucentric and other products from Michael Bancroft, Australia's premier comic artist and creator. Anyway, so let's continue on. So yeah, this is okay. You seen this? Okay, and this is from April, right? Yeah, this is April number 1. So this is the cover of April number 1, and you could definitely see that pop art style of pop art, and there's the also the promo for Devil Doll right there in the cover as well. Let me keep it up for. There we go. Okay. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Last met. Ole. Is it Hispanic Heritage Month? Well, yeah, I did go to an event on Saturday for work for a Hispanic empowerment event. It was pretty cool. It brought back memories of when I was a kid, and I used to go to family gatherings where they played all kinds of Spanish music, and they were loud, eating the arroz con gandules and getting drunk. Well, they didn't get drunk in the parties I went to, but they were still eating Spanish food. Yeah, the guy next to our table, he was drunk as hell, but he was a fun drunk. He wasn't like an angry raven drunk. He was a fun drunk, so I can hang with that. I like fun drunks.
Why was he funny? Did he eat urinal cakes?
Not that kind of drunk. No. No. He was
because that was funny.
Well, that was funny for us. Yes, that was funny for us. for a lot of reasons. I'm doubting Elasma. I am a Pac, Angela. Don't doubt me. I'm a real Pac. I can show you my birth certificate and my card. I'm as Pac as they come. How can you doubt me? Look at me. I'm totally a Pac. Totally. I don't understand this.
Good.
Elasma is Hispanic. I didn't know that. Hold up. I have to. Do it, Kissy. Do it. I want you here. Do it. And then maybe I'll cultivate a fan base that appreciates me and loves me for me and what I do. Do it. Do it. That was not necessary. Totally not necessary. Hell, I'm closer to Mexico than Alaska. Be careful with the cartel link because they're vicious. Be very, very careful with them. They do videos and stuff, and not the kind of videos you can get that you think. A real Pac doesn't have to say, I have to defend myself against the chat, Michael. They come with the spears every time. They do this. I can't just be quiet. I'm my own advocate. I'm my own civil rights leader. I have to do this.
He's
I
not a
have to defend-
POC. He doesn't even like POCs. I like POCs. I should be a POC.
You deliver beefies to chubbies.
You showed your Nutella-colored nipples on a stream.
You don't deserve my nipples.
I don't want to see them ever again.
You didn't even know what National Hispanic Heritage. Angela, here's a funny story. Because I'm pretty much isolated from like my people because where I'm at is pretty diverse. But as far as like the Spanish heritage side of me, my family's all spread out in the country, so I don't really have like a familial Hispanic connections around me. So I'm mostly just my own person in a community of diversity. So I don't, as a result, I don't follow up on the Spanish stuff like I used to, except through work. If that makes any sense, it makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, I don't care. I like it. I trust me, and I'm good. So I'm my biggest fan. Anyway, the drag the cartel in. I'm telling you not to. Don't let them drag you into it. That's what I'm saying. Ken, you're just about as Hispanic as John. You know what? F you, Kissy. F you.
Are you
Spears?
Cuban?
Sounds like anti-Pac speech. I'm defending the Pacs desert no matter. They come at with me spears, and I had to defend them off because the hate that they bring is just astounding. Even Helmet's upset about it.
Why me? I'm not a POC.
I
I
don't
like
know why.
POCs.
I don't know why you see they just single you out because you're in the machine with me and you have to be the fall guy and you shouldn't be the fall guy.
I always thought you are the fall guy.
Unfortunately, I have to be because a Pac is not allowed to succeed in this space. So I have to work extra hard to be accepted. Don't listen to Helmet Henry Bemis. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't do it.
Yeah, he's no dad.
Why can't you guys be more like Massive Panda, who actually delivers comments related to the stream? He says Clowes has one of those styles that makes his work timeless. Maybe it's the fashion of the characters. I think it lends to it, but yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, look, it goes back to what Pod Alpha said to Ethan, which is the more a comic is realistic, the more shitty it is. And there's something psychological to the cartoony style of something in a comic that appeals to a lot more people than you think. And I think that's partly, and hear me out, I think it's partly why Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is making more money in the US box office than, say, Superman or Fantastic Four did. I think there's something to that. Don't you agree, Helmet?
Yeah.
You're kind of silent there for a second. Like you didn't want to say nothing.
No, I thought about the Dogman comics and how well they sell and how minimalistic the art is.
There's that. There's we talked about Bone before.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. Those comics make bank.
And also Dogman is at the cinema right now. It has a movie out.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh?
and I never heard of a Cyberfrog movie or a Godlike movie or a Gemshock movie, let
You
alone a
never will.
comic. Doesn't
And you'll never
exist.
will. You never will. Those movies will never happen. So,
Yeah, maybe not in that kind of cinema that normal people go, if you know what I mean.
yes, I do. I absolutely do. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dogman is in the cinemas right now, and that is a sign for a very successful comic.
Mm-hmm.
Even when people say it's scholastics, but at the end of the day, it's a comic.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, and um, a lot of some of these comic artists got big doing comics for kids, and that is the missing component in the comics is it's the alternative to the mainstream. So obviously they're going to be experimenting more with violence and sex than the mainstream would, but in doing that they lose out on that young audience. But Jeff Smith, example of a guy who made his millions by appealing to as many people as possible in the age range with his story. Excuse me, with his story. So he was telling a story that kids can understand, but that adults can appreciate.
Yeah, that's also the appeal of shows like SpongeBob. You can
Mm-hmm.
watch it as an adult, and you can watch it as a kid, and in between. It's for all ages. Or if we go back to the 90s, stuff like Ren and Stimpy or
Mm-hmm.
Rocco's Modern Life or Invader
Yeah, I know.
Sim, stuff like that. Well, it
Cow and
was
chicken.
aimed at young adults, but it
Mm-hmm.
took everyone in.
Yeah, and that lends to the show's long lifespan because those kids become adults and they see the shows in a different light and then appreciate it even more.
Yeah, and you also will have the nostalgic factor that will never go away, which makes those shows and those comics immortal.
Yes. Mm-hmm. 100%. It's you can tell a grand story without getting too degenerate, and then you could keep the appeal of the young audience there, and then the comic or the story can last for a lifetime. And by lifetime, I mean like a generation, as opposed to 10 or so years into a generation versus an entire generation.
Yeah, that's good. You should aim at everyone as an artist, whether you are doing comics or cartoons or
Mhm.
other stuff.
KSS says, I imagine Demon Slayer probably did better in the box office because it is something more modern for younger people. Superman and Fantastic Four are old. What is that word? Oh, are old, and
Old,
let's face
and
it,
let's face it, they had a lot of
and a lot of
flops.
fun. Yes. Well, Demon Slayer. Here's the thing with Demon Slayer. Yeah, it's for the younger crowd, but that movie is not a kid's movie. So you have that parent to take them to see this movie. People like me. So they double their money that way, and I watch it and I enjoy it because it's a pretty mature oriented story. Good, great, beautiful visuals. Visuals are beautiful in the movie. Beautiful animation. And I'm always like hesitant on modern anime, but the animation here was impressive. The visual storytelling was beautiful in this movie. Right. So it was astounding, and that's something I could definitely appreciate with it. So something for the younger people, something for the adults. That's why it's on its way to near a billion. It's on its way to almost making a billion worldwide. It sounds like, and it ain't stopping. So we'll see how far it goes. JV says some of the stuff in Cow and Chicken or I Am Weasel.
It's funny that he says that because every time I watch something from Cow and Chicken and I Am Weasel, I'm reminded that our least favorite Pie Man person looks and acts exactly like the red guy,
Oh boy. Link says I always
always
prefer
showing
the
his ass.
See, I was trying to read Link's comment and you're interrupting me by talking about someone's ass. What is wrong with you?
Hey, you remember the red guy? He never wears pants. He always shows his ass.
No. Anyway, Ligovich says, I always prefer the classic cartoons, hand-drawn animation, and real music from an orchestra. I like hand-drawn animation because, yeah, as an artist, like it inspires me to like study the techniques, the colors, the shading, all that stuff. Like all that stuff, I look into it, and it really does push me to honing my own style, my style. I'm not copying anyone's style. I'm doing my style, but it helps me hone it in, and to me, you'll see the succession hard of my art style, and you'll see exactly where it's going. So, Demon Slayer isn't for the younger crowd, but it appeals to them.
I can see that.
I'm gonna disagree with that because do you want to speak for a Summit?
Yeah, my niece is 12 years old and she's totally into Demon Slayer. She has Funko Pops and posters and all the shit, and she's watching it. And it's aimed at teenagers at the age of 16 here in Germany, at least.
Mhm.
So I see that younger folks are interested in that because every time she's on her phone, she's talking about Demon Slayer with her friends.
Yeah, and I think Japan has a different perspective on what they view as material for younger crowds versus what we view it as. I'm gonna bet my life savings that they did this with the young crowd in mind, because the young crowd in Japan tends to be a bit more mature in how they perceive art and storytelling versus how the West younger crowd receives it. So I that's why I disagree, because I think the artists and the writers for Demon Slayer and other such manga and anime, they know who the audience is. They know who's going to come to it, so they're well aware of it. Personally, see what Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man, yeah, absolutely.
I say this: I'd rather have my niece watching Demon Slayer than watching crap like Steven Universe.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. Totally, 100%. 100%. Kids, I always get confused with kids' movies. People complain Superman wasn't a kids' movie, but as a kid, I grew up with Temple of Doom, which was PG. Temple of Doom, Gremlins, and Ghostbusters are the reason why that the MPAA went to make on the PG-13 rating, because there was no PG-13 rating prior to 1984. So with those movies, they were testing, or they were kind of like playing around with how much they can get away with without getting an R rating. So they couldn't rate those movies R because it wasn't too strong, but a PG rating was too soft for those movies, so they had no choice but to keep it at PG. But the next year in '85 is when they rolled out the PG-13 rating because of those three movies. So yeah, I think am I caught up in the chat? I think I'm caught up in the chat. Link says straight up, most anime styles look the same. Nothing that stands out as that original. That's the thing. Like, yeah, a lot of modern anime to me, a lot of it looks generically the same. It's just there's no real variables in the design. That's why I miss the '80s and the early '90s anime, because there was more variety, and I felt the animation was a lot more experimental back then and more fluid, than it is today. Like you could look at, say, Violent Jack, or even like Macross, right? Look at the animation in those and compare it to most of anime today. There's a clear difference. There's a clear difference in the animation style. Change my mind.
I think they also are less risky nowadays than they were back in the 80s and the 90s. If you think about Berserk or Akira, stuff like that, that was very mature with very mature thematics. And
Yeah.
maybe that's what's missing in modern day manga and anime.
And that's probably why Demon Slayer is successful, because it did bring me a little bit back to that era. There seems to be a lot more of that. It reminded me a little bit of, like, say, like Ninja Scroll, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of brought that to mind. So anyway, Vince Zinger says this. He said, "Oh, that's JB Styler. I'm sorry." He says, "I even got the Demon Slayer light novels. It's the big cash cow over. It's a big cash cow. Words are hard for manga cult here in Germany. They have a very good lineup of weirder stuff as well." Vince Zinger says, "Agreed, but let's not forget about how anime manga creators know how to prioritize, or how they never start drama and trouble. Like, just like you said, they don't have time for it. Yeah, they don't. They're just too busy putting their work out, and they don't do a lot of talking. The mangaka don't talk online. They just put their work out, stay in the background, stay mysterious, and let people talk about their work. And that was how a lot of these mangaka, including one and Ipatu. Same thing with Ipatu. He stayed in the background and didn't get himself first and foremost in Twitter or online back and forth over opinions that no one asked for, and he's successful because of it. Let's see. A lot of newer anime is so super clean that it lacks charm and look of the human. Yeah, that's a good point. It does look very polished. A lot of modern day anime looks very polished. That's a good point. And because that it has that dullness. You say it's lack of charm, and that's pretty good. Yeah, it lacks a human touch. I miss stuff like Cowboy Bebop, and to be honest, the roughness of old Dragon Ball. I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, but that animation style I absolutely love. I totally love it. I love the style of it. I love the fluidity of it. I miss that era of anime. I really do. Like I miss again, I go back to those animes I mentioned. Also, there was Guyver, there was Weather Girl, there was what was the other one?
Captain Future. Do you remember that?
Which one?
Captain Future.
I heard of. I didn't have seen it, but I've heard of it. I have heard of Captain Future.
Because that was an awesome sci-fi series and anime. And it came out, I guess, in the 80s somewhere. What was a very good series. If you are into high sci-fi, that's your thing.
Yeah, I have to look into that. Yeah, there was a lot of good anime sci-fi. I'm thinking about Space Cobra. That was a fun one. Yeah, there was a lot of great anime from the 80s and 90s that I think has been forgotten because of the modern style, and the modern style just doesn't speak to me. There's something about it. It seems cold and not fluent. Something more modern, says Einbrecht. Even like Era Zero, it was from '94. Era Zero, yeah, I remember Zero. Zero was turned into a live action movie, I believe.
Have you seen Wicked City?
I have seen Wicked City. Yes. That
was interesting, but
it was
very mature.
Yes. Yes, it was. Ninja Scroll. I've seen Ninja Scroll one time. I have to watch it again because I have to give it its due props. Let's also not forget about how anime and manga creators value honor. Oh, we don't forget. That's why we got to preserve the Japanese culture, because that culture is steeped in honor, and we can learn a lot from that culture. And our fear with the Great Reset is they're going to replace the Japanese culture, and we don't want that to happen. So hopefully Japan gets its act together and defends its culture and its borders, because if not, it's going to be wiped out in the next generation. Maz Bennett says Galaxy Express 99 is beautiful to look at. I believe it's still on Tubi. Excellent animation, beautiful flaws and all. Yeah, I heard some good things about Galaxy 999. I haven't seen it. I know about it. I've seen the images of it, but I have not gotten a chance to actually see it. That's the one with the train. As a kid, I hated when the studio would put a kid in the show or movie to relate to the kids. I hate Boxy in the original BSG and Matt Tracker, Sun Scott in Mask. I hate it when I hate it when they did that with the Transformers. When the after season 3 of Transformers ended in America, they continued on with 3 seasons of Transformers in Japan, and there was a heavy emphasis on the kids in the shows, and it was annoying as hell. And then, of course, they ramped it into overdrive with the Transformers Energon and Armada series. But
remember the fucking blonde kid in the Turtles, who was dressed up as a turtle?
No, which version of the Turtles?
The cartoon. There was a blonde boy who was dressed up as a turtle in many episodes. And he was annoying as hell. What?
Was it the later seasons of the show?
No, I think it was from the start. Was a blonde kid with dressed up as a turtle.
I don't remember that. I got to look into that. I don't remember that. A blonde kid dressed up as a turtle.
Yeah, he was awful.
He sounds awful, but yeah, I don't remember it. Wait.
Yeah, I don't like kids in cartoons.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Imrex wants to show me what he's talking about. So I'm going to send him the link, and we go to my Discord. So we're going to have an appearance by Einbrecht about this. So let's see. Excuse me. Okay. Going up to Discord. There you go. There you go. There's the link. Arnold. So as he comes here, so we're gonna continue with the chat a bit. So Captain Future, says JV, is one of the few series where the German dub and soundtrack is the best worldwide. Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I can confirm. Especially the music is awesome.
Oh yes, Dominion Tank Police. Yes, I've heard about that one. That's a good one. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the clips of it. And like, yeah, I gotta watch that. So let me go to the YouTubes so I can look for that. Hold on. Can I click it from here? I think I can. Yes, okay, good. I clicked it from here. Yeah, Dominion Tank Police. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we have a guest in the back. Let me bring him on because he wants to show me something. And I'll play him this intro.
I'm retarded?
Well, are you?
Yes, very much so. Never discount the retardation.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
so,
Albrecht.
yeah.
This is what I mean, though, right? Like, these are the older styles that you would see in, like, older animes. This is from Iria Zerum.
Okay. Yeah, I love that style. Totally love that style.
Like, it's, and it's not just that, too. Like, if you look at a lot of the older stuff, like, Wicked City you guys mentioned earlier, it's
Right.
from 87. Like, look at this. Look at this beautiful art.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I love 80s mecha and early 90s mecha was top notch.
Panda mentioned Galaxy Express from the same creator, actually. Check this out. This is one of my favorite continuities of all time. Here we go. This is Captain Harlock. I absolutely fucking adore this shit. Let me find the old.
Yeah, the
There we
Space
are.
Pirate.
Yeah, this is Captain Harlock. It's from the same dude that did Galaxy Express 999 and Queen Esmeralda's. Like, it's
Have you
beautiful
seen
stuff.
Blue Submarine number 6, Einbrecht?
I have not.
You should watch that.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of the older stuff. It's so unpolished. It's got a lot of charm to it. Like actually he has another one too. I think it was Blackjack. I think it was called Blackjack anime. Yes, there it is. See what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's just such a wonderful art style.
Yes. It's very organic.
Like, it's not it contrasts it with some of this newer stuff. Let me what's the perfect example of the newer, really washed out stuff? The main character's name is Deku. All right, My Hero Academia. Yeah, look at this. Like, this is the style you get with a lot of the newer stuff. It's all like really basic, and it's all samey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that's what it is. It just there's no variation in the characters are designed.
Yeah, like, the only character here that's particularly unique is this guy, All Might. He's the
Yeah.
only character in the whole setting that's kind of like has like his own look. Everyone else is just kind of some variation of femboy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Naruto.
You know, dude, it's one of the reasons why I don't like a lot of the shonen stuff. I don't enjoy the art. It looks awful. The animation's often beautiful, so I'll watch a lot of it, but I really don't like the art styles.
Yeah, like I said before, I think 90s and 80s anime and manga was more edgy and had more mature topics.
Monkey King in chat, you mutt, stop liking my classic face. Yeah, dude, there's some really good stuff in the old stuff. Monkey King, it's unreal. No helmet though, like, absolutely. It's the 80s and 90s anime and manga are beautiful. I really, we might be like a dying breed of fan though, of like multimedia consumer, because I think a lot of the newer people just want everything to look like.
I mean, I try to educate the kids around me. I told my 12-year-old niece the story about Berserk and Fist of the North Star, and she
Dude.
wanted to watch it.
Dude, Fist of the North Star is so good. Kenshiro's a great character, absolutely phenomenal. Guts is another one of my favorite comic slash animation characters of all time as well.
Yeah, the Fist North Star animated series was dope.
We're finally getting a City Hunter manga release in Oh, cool.
Oh, nice, good to know. And also, even when anime and mangas had some hentai in it, it was always in an artful way.
Yeah.
Not the now stuff with over the top and perverted bullshit. No, it had some kind of class, like in Wicked City or Orozo Kidochi Demons.
Dude, you know what's really funny about Urotsuki Doji? It's not even a hentai. It's like a what do you call it? Like an ecchi?
So the manga for Urosoki Doji was actually a supernatural erotic horror.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then the anime turned into something completely off the rails.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. I don't
And
know
actually,
that much
I like
about
the
the source
anime,
material.
minus the rape scenes. The story was actually pretty solid, and the animation was nice, and the art style was pretty good too. So, I try to watch it without the rape scenes.
What was it? Oh, fuck, man.
Urosoki Doji, aka Legend of the Overfiend. It was credited as being the first hentai anime, even though it's not really hentai, but it was credited as that.
This one is like, look at this art style. Record of Lotus War is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, Einbrack, that's one of the best fantasy animes that are ever created.
Like, look at this absolutely gorgeous art, man.
Yeah, and it's also based on Dungeons and Dragons, if you
Yep.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I love that.
This is the main character, Parn. He's like your typical sort of like fighter main character.
Mm-hmm.
He's skilled, but he's
Yeah.
inexperienced. He makes a lot of mistakes, and he eventually rises to the challenge, figures his shit out, and like it's just a great story. And the art is beautiful. Like when you look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. The dwarf looks like you would think a dwarf would look in like a production.
Yeah,
it's so good. Yeah, the Lotus War stuff is really, really good. It's another one of those absolutely go, like the books look good too. Like here, look at that art.
Yeah.
Like it's just, yeah, it's I like a lot of the really like nifty, like flawed stuff. Like here, let me show you. This is not a this is a video game. It's called Dragon's Crown. It's really goofy, like over exaggerated style.
Yeah.
And it's just it's beautiful. Like look at this.
Mm-hmm. That is dope. I like that. I like the concept.
Like it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my
you can
favorite
click the
games.
picture and make it bigger. We can see it on the tab.
Yeah. Let me go to the it's a blog, so I will just right click.
Yes.
Right click. Where's the image in new tab? Here we go. And then share this tab instead.
There we go.
And then you look at it, and it just like look at that beautiful. The animations were so great too. Like this game was super fun to play with the controller with friends.
That looks nice. That there's definitely some like not Bakshi. Who am I thinking of? Frank
Frazetta or Boris Vallejo.
Let me show you the dwarf in this. Like they don't look at all like you would imagine. It's like a really unique design for dwarves, and I absolutely adore it for that reason. One sec. Open image in new tab. Share this tab instead. It's absolutely glorious. Like look at this monstrosity. I love it.
Nice. Yes.
It's like a this giant burly like Viking underground dweller. It's pretty glorious. Yeah. It's the guy that did the art for these games just did an absolutely beautiful job. Oh, actually, since we're talking about this, you got to see this. Dragon's Crown Sorceress. This is the character that she's an adult, by the way, but this is the character that what's his name? Jason Schreier called people a pedophile for being attracted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at this. Anyone attracted to this is a pedophile, by the way.
I don't know how, but okay.
It was wild. I couldn't believe
Wow.
I couldn't believe a grown ass human being said something so retarded.
Yeah, there's definitely something like well, projection, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it just I really like really stylized art.
I do too. I there's a lack of there's a discouragement of that in this space. So like what we can look at something like this and
Wait,
just appreciate it. And
I've noticed something too. They're sanitizing art. It's all starting to look like the new age Korean, like really clean Korean video game characters.
Mhm.
And I like how those characters look, but when they're in everything, they cease being interesting.
Yeah. It becomes stale and the brain naturally deflects from it. Or
Yes,
pulls away from
like it
and then
used to
that-
be.
Mhm.
I used to see like the unique Korean art style in something, and I went, yeah, I'm super excited for this. And now it's in everything, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's like everything in Western animated series looks like Steven Universe nowadays.
Mm. That fucking Cal art style, man, I hate it.
Yeah, bean
It's-
mouth. No?
It's not a good kind of stylized either, because when it first started popping up, with I don't remember what that show was called. I'm sorry. There was
Adventure Time.
So Adventure Time actually had some decent, funny moments, but yeah, its animation's kind of shit. I will give it that. I will definitely give you that. Like it just, I kind of went, oh, this is going to become a trend, isn't it? And oh boy, it did.
The problem is it looks like shit. It's not well written, and it's infused with identity politics and other SJW bullshit. It's not only Steven Universe, it's also Has-Been Hotel and the new She-Ra series and Thundercats Roar. That was awful. That looked awful and was SJW bullshit from the start.
Yeah, I like God, man, there's so many great art styles that came out of the 80s and 90s, and it just it really bums me out that people were like, oh, well, this isn't beautiful enough, and had to like prettify it. It's like, no, stop it. Beautify it is the word I'm looking for.
It's funny that you can see in every corner in Japan anime stuff from the 90s, stuff like Shin-chan, for example, who is not very well drawn.
No,
or stuff
not
like
at all.
One Punch Man, because Elasma told the story about One Punch Man. It's not very well drawn, but you can see it in every corner from Japan. You can see burger joints selling Shin-chan burgers and stuff like that.
Well, that's exactly it, right? Like, you don't need impeccable art in order to sell something. You've got to be able to tell a story. You've got to be able to charm people. Like, because that's exactly what happened with Elasmat's book with me. I really wasn't terribly interested because I hated the art. And then I just kind of got to know Elasmat over time. And I was like, okay, this guy's got a really fucked sense of humor. If even like 30 to 40% of his sense of humor translates into that book, into that dark comedy story he's telling, it's going to be a great read. And I don't regret backing either book. I enjoy both of them.
I have no doubt that I will like it too. I have never read it. I only have seen the art, and I don't have a problem with Elasmat's art. It's special, but like I said before, not in the artsy-fartsy style that puts me off.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
He also, I heard he also puts a lot of love and humor into his books.
Yeah, dude. There's a joke. I can't. No, I'm sorry. I can't remember which book it's in right now. But I
The
laugh
one
every.
where Road Warrior Drake is jerking off in the high grass?
That didn't happen. That did not happen. You can't let a good review. No, can you, Holly? You can't let a good review happen. You have to tarnish
Yeah.
it and taint it every time.
That's right. Yeah, it's the no the I think it's the first book, but it's the both of y'all shit. It fucking destroys me every time I get to that page.
Oh, that was the second.
It's
That was the second book.
It was the second book. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have an awful memory in that respect. It just every time I get to the both of y'all stuff during a reread, it's like, oh my god, here we go again, and I just start howling again because it's such a stupid joke, but it's rooted in reality, right? Like if a child were sufficiently stupid and like both of y'all behave yourselves, like that would end up being like what you call yourself, right? Both of y'all. It's
I
just-
laughed pretty hard when I saw the panel with Taco the Narc
Yeah.
on full. That fat guy with the tiny hands.
Yeah, the Taco the Narc is really funny. There's a lot of great stuff in those books, though. Like it's the lesson that being around the indie space has taught me. The most important lesson, my most important takeaway, is that art elitism is fucking worthless. A person doesn't need to be a good artist to tell a great story.
Yeah. And also not everything that looks polished and good is in the end a good comic.
No, yeah, definitely not. Oftentimes I find it's the opposite. Actually, I find oftentimes a lot of the really polished books, with just unimpeachable art, often have really hollow stories because too much time was spent on the art and not enough time was spent on world building, or crafting dialogue, or other things that matter for the sake of storytelling. Like I really like you guys were talking about him earlier about how he's not good at taking criticism, but I really like Sven Stoffel's book, Butch Killington. I bought the
I
first
actually
one.
like Spencer Thelma's artwork. I know he's getting a lot of shit by a lot of people, but
No, dude, his
I actually
art's
like his artwork.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
like
unique.
it.
Have you seen the horrific things he draws on during his live streams?
No.
it's he will get a prompt from like his Discord or chat or from like a randomizer, and he'll draw it, and it's always something fucking awful. Like I can't give you examples because I'll get you in trouble with the censors. And it's just like, bro, how do you get away with trying this stuff? Holy fuck!
By the way, to change this over a bit because this I just saw this on Twitter, but well, Twitter or X, but
Yeah, Monkey King, Mononoke Hime. That was a really, really, really good show.
So on October 16th, it looks like the new terms of services for Indiegogo take effect. What's funny is that Eric July is the one sharing this. So this is what makes it funny. So these are the new terms and services for Indiegogo, and we're gonna see how this affects crowdfunding for comic books. Let's see. Indiegogo may also decline projects based on internal risk assessment. This assessment may consider, among other factors, your prior performance and history of reward delivery, unresolved obligations to backers from delayed or undelivered rewards.
Oof.
Oh no.
Signs of fraudulent or deceptive behavior, discrepancies in project information or suspicious funding patterns, risk of money laundering or unfair transaction activity, material deterioration of your financial standing to a level that it reasonably threatens your ability to perform contractual obligations or deliver reward to backers.
That's not
direct or indirect connections with individuals or entities previously involved in non-compliant, misleading, or banned campaigns.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna get colorful.
Dude, there's a holy shit, dude. They're looking to crack down on entire communities. That's deliberate language.
If risk assessment is negative, Indiegogo may, at its sole discretion, deny or suspend onboarding at any stage, suspend or terminate an active campaign, cancel a project during the late pledge or manager phase.
So long, Rainbow the Brood. Was nice not knowing you.
It makes you
Uh,
it makes you
mm.
wonder. Hmm. This is taking place October 16th. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick search on something. I have a suspicion. Hold on.
She's
October
old enough for
16th.
Fumifist, but not old enough for Vito, but too old for
Oof.
Vito. That's unfortunate.
Ouch. Let's see, 15 days. So let's see. Interesting. So the Pit campaign that was released by Stuntman Comics ends in 15 days. You know what day that is?
When this
October
starts,
17th. October 17th, the day after this takes effect.
Oh, Lord.
Interesting. Because I wondered,
I
like, why.
wonder if it. I have to wonder at that point. Is there any indication this is retroactive? Are people who did this prior grandfathered in, or are they in trouble?
They would only get. I think it's only retroactive if they are able to get the money refunded. So I'm not sure that they could enforce that. But yeah, I just looked into that because the extension of that Pit campaign was not the
Oh,
typical 30-day campaign.
oh
So
no, I haven't seen that one, Monkey King. I didn't know that there was another similarly titled anime. So it's a mysterious man called the medicine seller travels along feudal Japan, uncovering and slaying spirits called Mononoke. Oh, that's cool. So is it a more combat oriented show, or is it more artsy like Oh shoot, we just watched it. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna look it up though.
so Guy, it's for every campaign starting the 16th. But if there's any campaign that's current after the 16th, they'll probably consider looking into those campaigns. But it's for any campaign taking place after the 16th. So will it get CG to start being more committed to finishing up a film, or CG continue to start drama in trouble? We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens now with these, because Indiegogo is under new ownership. So it's interesting that these effects are now being implemented. These new policies are being implemented. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna be paying attention to these campaigns now.
my
Um,
guess is they will migrate to Fund My Comic as soon as the first campaign gets kicked off of IGG.
yeah, most likely. I think most likely that's what will happen. But they may not get that. The thing with the Film My Comic is a lot of people that go to Film My Comic don't like CG, so they're gonna probably lose their backers. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they'll keep their backer count. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I'm gonna read a few more comments and then I'm gonna call it a stream. Two very artsy anime I can think of top of my head: Paprika and Millennium Actress.
I think Paprika I know of.
Perfect Blue is a good one too. Have you seen Perfect Blue?
I heard about that, but no.
It's an interesting suspense mystery anime. I gotta watch it again
I
because
found it. I found it. It's called Mushishi. This is the main character. It's
You know what a mushi is in German? Einbrecht. No?
I don't. What did you say it's called?
You don't know what a mushi is in German?
No, I don't know what a mushi is. Sorry.
A mushi is a vagina.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
On that note, we're gonna call it a stream. I think Raptor is streaming in 20 minutes, so you guys should head over to Lord Raptor and watch him turn the stream on at about 11:30, 11:45, maybe 12 o'clock, maybe never. Who knows? Anyway, so on that note, I'm gonna thank my co-host Mood of Hell for coming in.
Thank you.
And my good friend
Yeah.
Ibrecht, who came in and gave him some extra information on anime stuff. And
No,
and
man,
artwork.
I'm super happy. Like I really love a lot of this stuff. It's really good. And yeah, Monkey King, Mushishi was a lot of fun to watch. It's really it. I've never before I watched Mushishi had I ever seen something that feels long-winded but is enjoyable. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's very scenic and atmospheric. It's a
You don't
spectacle.
have to explain it. Everybody loves mushi.
Yeah, that's right.
Even the last met.
So go check out War Red, who's doing an actual comic book review right now. If you want to look at comic reviews, and also it's called Mushishi, and I'm not reading the rest of that Kissy because I'm not going to honor that anymore. The joke is dead. Let it die. Let it die. Yes, I hate War Red, but I will promote a stream. Why not? I'll do it. I'll do it. So there you go. There you go. Link Vitch. On that note, gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. Everybody else have a good day, good night, good deed, good do, whatever. Have a good night, and please don't pass away.
Yeah, I'll have
come
to
back
check
next
it out,
week.
Monkey King.
Come back next week. I will review what this is, issue number 5 of Omega Girl on next stream, on the next Indie Comic Outlier, and we will see you then. Have a great night, and God bless.
Posting it here in a second. Said to close